One moment, you're standing inside an entire world that feels completely real. The next, it's slipping through your fingers like smoke. Before you're even fully awake, a place your mind spent hours creating has already begun to disappear. This isn't because your memory is broken. During REM sleep, your brain switches into a completely different chemical state, one that makes vivid experiences surprisingly difficult to store as lasting memories. As morning arrives, your brain quietly redraws the line between dreams and reality. The impossible landscapes fade away, leaving behind only fragments, and sometimes nothing at all. Have you ever tried to remember a dream, only to watch every detail vanish the harder you chased it? That's because dream memories are incredibly fragile, disappearing within moments of waking. But dream recall isn't just luck, it's a skill. With a few simple habits, you can train your brain to hold on to those fading memories and unlock a hidden part of your sleeping mind. It seems almost like a design flaw. Why would your brain spend the night creating incredible worlds, only to erase them before breakfast? As strange as it sounds, scientists believe forgetting dreams isn't a mistake. It's actually part of the system. The answer begins inside REM sleep, the stage where our most vivid dreams happen. While you're asleep, your brain becomes incredibly active, but it also operates under a completely different set of chemical rules than it does during the day. One of the biggest differences is a chemical called norepinephrine. When you're awake, it helps your brain recognize important experiences and store them as memories. During REM sleep, however, its levels drop dramatically. Imagine filming the greatest movie of your life, but never pressing the save button. That's essentially what's happening. Your dreams unfold in extraordinary detail, yet the brain isn't receiving the normal signals needed to preserve them. At the same time, scientists have discovered specialized cells called MCH neurons becoming highly active. These cells appear to suppress the brain's memory system, making it even harder for dreams to move into long-term storage. Why would evolution design something like this? One leading theory is that forgetting dreams helps protect our sense of reality. If every impossible dream felt as real as yesterday's memories, separating fact from fiction could become much harder. The good news is that this system isn't impossible to work around. People who regularly remember their dreams aren't necessarily born with a special ability. They've simply trained their brains to capture those memories before they disappear. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. If forgetting dreams is built into the brain, why do some people remember them almost every single morning? There are people who can describe entire dream worlds in astonishing detail. They remember conversations, places they've never seen before, even the smallest sounds and emotions. Some people can fill page after page of dream journals without missing a day. Their brains aren't different. They're using the exact same biology as everyone else. The difference is timing. Dream memories don't disappear all at once. They fade in stages, like footprints slowly disappearing beneath the tide. For a brief moment after waking, those memories are still there. Fragile, incomplete, but still reachable. Most of us simply lose them before we realize they're slipping away. Think about the first few seconds after your alarm goes off. Before you've even opened your eyes completely, your brain begins switching gears. Thoughts about work, school, messages, breakfast, today's schedule, and yesterday's problems all rush in at once. It's as if the waking mind immediately starts replacing one operating system with another. Every new thought competes with the dream that came before it, and dreams almost always lose. Scientists believe this is partly because waking consciousness demands something very different from dreaming. During the day, your brain is constantly filtering information, solving problems, making decisions, and preparing you to interact with the real world. Dreams simply aren't the priority anymore. Imagine trying to hear a whisper inside a crowded stadium. The whisper is still there. It's just being drowned out by everything else. That's exactly what happens to most dreams. The remarkable part is that this process isn't completely automatic. It can be influenced. In psychology, there's a concept known as attention. Simply put, the things we repeatedly pay attention to become easier for our brains to notice in the future. If you spend months learning to recognize birds, you'll suddenly notice birds everywhere. If you become interested in astronomy, you'll start looking up at the night sky without even thinking about it. The brain is constantly deciding what's important enough to keep. Dreams are no different. The moment you begin treating your dreams as valuable information instead of random nighttime entertainment, your brain slowly changes its priorities. It starts paying attention. Over time, those disappearing memories become easier to catch. This is why experienced dream recallers often describe remembering dreams as something that became stronger with practice. Not overnight, not because they suddenly became better dreamers, but because they became better observers. Researchers have noticed something fascinating. People who keep dream journals for several weeks don't just remember more dreams. They often begin recalling longer dreams, richer details, and emotions they had never noticed before. It's almost as if their brains are learning a completely new language. Of course, your brain is still working against you. The chemistry of REM sleep hasn't changed. Norepinephrine still drops. MCH neurons are still active. Your memory system still isn't operating under ideal conditions. But now there's something working in your favor. Habit, attention, expectation. Together, those three things create a surprisingly powerful advantage. Instead of trying to reconstruct a dream long after it's disappeared, you're learning to catch it during the tiny window when it's still alive. And that window is much larger than most people realize. In fact, some of the most effective techniques for remembering dreams take less than 30 seconds. No expensive devices, no supplements, no complicated routines, just a few simple habits that teach your brain one important message. This matters. Once your brain begins believing that, something interesting happens. Dreams stop feeling like accidents. They start becoming memories. And it all begins with what you do in the very first moments after you wake up.